Hi, what do you think about the idea of creating a human chimpanzee hybrid? Roughly 99% of our genetics are identical, and we even shared the same mother somewhere around 6 to 7 million years ago. Moreover, we know of hybrids between animals that are supposedly more genetically distant. For example, horses and donkeys share about 98% of their genes, and their hybrid is the mule. A tiger and a lion can produce a liger, and the list goes on. So, could such a thing work between us and chimpanzees? In fact, someone has already tried to answer this question under very different circumstances than you might think. In the 1920s, Stalin decided it would be a good idea to create a super soldier who would be immune to pain and hunger and virtually unbeatable. He assigned the task to Ilya Ivanov, one of the world's leading biologists at the time and a pioneer in artificial insemination. Ivanov initially tried to carry out the experiment in West Africa, supported by government funding from Moscow, but it turns out the locals weren't too fond of the idea. So, Ivanov decided to relocate the experiment elsewhere. As luck would have it, or perhaps not, Ivanov found more favorable conditions in Georgia. Surprisingly, a group of 5 local women agreed to participate in the research. Ivanov attempted to impregnate them using the sperm of male chimpanzees, but to no avail. Was the failure because such a hybrid is simply impossible? Or was the problem perhaps Ivanov himself? The first major obstacle in creating a human imp hybrid is the difference in chromosomes. Humans have 46, while chimpanzees have 48. To understand why this is problematic, let's look at how an embryo is formed. During fertilization, the father contributes 23 chromosomes and the mother contributes 23. These chromosomes pair up and form 23 pairs. Each sperm chromosome matches with the corresponding one in the egg. Immediately after, the process of creating the embryo begins, in which cells divide again and again, copying themselves with the same genetic code, i.e., the same chromosomes. After 9 months, the embryo becomes a fully formed baby composed of all the cells descended from that first single cell. But what happens if instead of 2 sets of 23 chromosomes, we get one set of 23 and another of 24? Can that work? Here we run into a problem right at the start. We said each chromosome pairs with its match, but now there's a mismatch in the number of chromosomes between the cells. The chromosomes try to connect, but chaos ensues. There are no clear partners for some chromosomes, and none are sure who to pair with. This severely disrupts the formation of that first cell. Yes, that extra 24th chromosome ruins the whole picture. This issue is a major obstacle to the idea of creating a human chimpanzee hybrid. And yet, horses and donkeys also differ in their chromosome count. Donkeys have 62 chromosomes and horses have 64, but they can produce a mule. So, what's different about humans and chimpanzees? Horses and donkeys split from a common ancestor about 4 to 5.5 million years ago. The genetic differences between their chromosomes are smaller, both because of the shorter time since they diverged and for other reasons. This lower genetic variation allows the mule to form, but with significant genetic issues, the most notable being sterility. In humans and chimpanzees, the genetic differences in chromosomes are far greater, so much so that an embryo simply can't form. Even though about 98.8% of our genes are identical, that small 1.2% difference in the critical genes needed for embryo development is enough to prevent it from happening. Think of it like the human body. The heart makes up only about 0.5% of the body's weight, but it's absolutely vital. Without it, there's no life. But could this been possible in the past? Not 100 years ago and not even 1,000 years ago. But what if we go back far enough? When did the last human or chimpanzee ancestors live that could have interbred and produced viable offspring? Scientists have some differing opinions on this, but the common estimate is that interbreeding might have been possible for about 1 to 2 million years after our evolutionary split. So, roughly 5 million years ago. Still, in the future, the field of genetic engineering might open up new possibilities. Maybe with the right gene editing, such a hybrid could one day become feasible. But it's worth saying that this is probably not something we'd want to happen, or at least we really, really hope it doesn't. A human chimpanzee hybrid, even if successful in the future, could result in severe genetic abnormalities. Creating such a being would almost certainly be profoundly unethical. So, what would such a creature look like? The Humanzee? Well, we probably won't get an answer anytime soon, and hopefully never. There are plenty of mythologies that have imagined just such a being, a fusion of human and ape. Maybe these myths give us a small glimpse of what it might have been like. Hanuman is a humanoid monkey deity from Hindu mythology. He is depicted as wise, strong, and deeply moral. He accompanies Rama, one of Hinduism's most revered gods, and symbolizes strength and loyalty. His role in Hindu culture and religion is central and significant. There's also Sun Wukong from Chinese mythology, the Balu from various African cultures, and even Bigfoot and the Yeti, more modern legends that still captivate millions of believers around the world. So maybe we won't see a Humanzee anytime soon, and that's probably for the best. But perhaps we have all the tools we need to imagine such a being, just as humans have done for thousands of years. How do you imagine a Humanzee? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. Thank you so much for watching all the way through. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to follow for more fascinating content in the future. And of course, a like would be greatly appreciated. Thanks again, and see you next time.